You know, almost every single company out there is investing in leadership development. But let's be honest, how many can truly say those programs are driving real, measurable business results? It's this huge, nagging challenge, actually connecting the dots between a training workshop and the bottom line.
So I want to ask you a really direct question. Is your leadership training actually delivering value? It is so easy to get caught up in the busyness of just running activities, ticking the boxes. But are you building the capabilities that will genuinely push your company forward? It's a tough question for sure, but it's one we have to ask.
To even begin to answer that, we have to shift our whole perspective. So instead of seeing leadership development as just a bunch of random, disconnected events, I want you to think of it more like a strategic climb. Picture a ladder of maturity. Every single rung you climb represents a more sophisticated, a more impactful approach.
And that brings us to this idea, the leadership maturity ladder. Think of it as a powerful diagnostic tool, almost like a map. It helps you pinpoint exactly where you are right now, and it charts the course from just being a provider of training to becoming a true architect of your business's capability.
Now, this ladder has 4 pretty distinct rungs, and each one is a big leap. We're going to start at the very bottom, level 1, the nascent stage. It's mostly just reactive, kind of scrappy. From there, we climb up to operational, then to value-adding, and then finally, we reach the summit, business critical, and that's where leadership development gets truly transformational.
So where does your organization fit in all of this? Let's take a quick diagnostic journey through each of these levels. And as I'm describing them, I want you to think really honestly which one sounds the most like your current reality.
Okay, let's start at the very bottom, level 1, nascent. If this is you, well, there's no real strategy to speak of. Training is basically firefighting. It only happens when a team is in total crisis. And leadership itself? It isn't really defined, so promotions often just go to the person who's been there the longest, not necessarily the person with the best leadership skills.
This image, it just captures the essence of level 1 perfectly, doesn't it? Any so-called training is usually just a one-off motivational speech. Sure, it might create a little buzz for a day, but with zero follow-up, no curriculum, there's just no lasting change. It's disconnected, and frankly, it's a really outdated way of doing things. Now let's move up a rung to level 2, operational. And this is a big step up, at least in terms of organization. You've got a training calendar, maybe you've even got a budget. You're running those classic workshops for first-time managers on things like communication or conflict resolution. It's efficient for sure, but it's almost always a one-size-fits-all kind of deal.
This scene here is probably pretty familiar, right? A full classroom. At this operational level, success is all about the logistics. Did people show up? Did they give us a good score on the happy sheet at the end? We're measuring activity, butts in seats, not actual behavior change or real business impact. All right, climbing a level 3, this is a major leap in maturity. This is the value-adding stage, and it's all driven by a formal leadership competency model. Now we're talking about programs that are actually tailored for junior, mid-level, and senior leaders. You're not just training anymore, you're assessing skills before and after, with a real focus on building tangible capability. So at the very heart of level 3 is this formal competency framework. It becomes the backbone for all of your development programs. But, and this is a big but, there's still a critical gap. You might be measuring if people's competencies are improving, but you haven't consistently linked that to the hard business metrics, to the KPIs. You're definitely adding value, but you haven't quite earned that seat at the main strategic table just yet.
And that brings us to the summit, level 4, business critical. Here, learning and development is no longer just a support function, it's a core strategic partner. Leadership development is now this integrated journey, and it's directly tied to the company's biggest goals, to succession planning, and to measurable business transformation. This visualization of all these interconnected points is just key to understanding level 4. You're no longer just a person who runs programs. You are the architect of your organization's human capability. Every single thing you do, whether it's a coaching session or a new leadership project, is designed to directly move the needle on core business metrics like team attrition, revenue growth, and innovation. Okay, so by now you've probably found your spot on the ladder. And the obvious question is, how in the world do you start climbing? So, let's break down this whole ascent into some clear, actionable steps. We can really think of this as 3 key climbs. The first climb, getting from level 1 to 2, is all about building structure. Get that calendar, get that budget in place. The second climb,
The value-add climb from 2 to 3, that's all about building a competency framework and shifting from one-off events to real learning journeys. And that final leap from 3 to 4, that's where you connect every single thing you do directly to business impact and ROI. So,
People transformation is essential for HR and L&D professionals in today's fast-changing world. At level 1 to 2, the focus is on building strong foundations, training needs analysis, program design, and basic evaluation skills. At level 2 to 3, professionals move towards strategy, developing competency frameworks, instructional design expertise, and using data and AI for better decision-making. At level 3 to 4, the transformation becomes business-driven, focusing on predictive analytics, change management, talent strategy, and digital transformation. This journey, from basic skills to strategic leadership, defines the future-ready HR professional. The 3-month leadership transformation journey is designed to build future-ready leaders through 4 strategic pillars. It begins with process enhancement support, where competency frameworks and leadership capability maps are co-created. Next, a detailed leadership audit using 360-degree assessments helps identify strengths and development areas. The journey then moves into hands-on learning through workshops, coaching, and action-based development. Finally, organizations gain recognition and benchmarking, achieving industry standards and visibility. A structured, end-to-end transformation, designed to elevate leadership impact.
When you really boil it all down, the journey up this ladder is about transforming the entire identity of the learning and development function inside your company. It's about moving from being seen as just a cost center to being recognized as an absolutely critical strategic driver of the business's future success.
So I'll leave you with this. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is the single most impactful step your organization could take this quarter to begin your climb to the next level of leadership maturity? Really think about it, because that one little step could be the start of a truly transformational journey.